Hi everyone, Matt Winchelley here. I've had a lot of people ask me recently what is going on with the real estate market and if this is going to be another housing crisis. Well, the answer is no. And there are 6 reasons why this is not a housing crisis. I'm going to be splitting this topic up into 2 separate videos. So here are reasons 1 through 3. The first way that we know this isn't going to be a housing crisis is by looking at home price appreciation. When you look at the 6 years leading up to the last housing crisis, we saw an average appreciation of anywhere between 6.5% to 12.5%. And in the last 6 years leading up to right now, we haven't experienced one year that's even reached 6.5%, which was the lowest level back then. And when things continue to appreciate like that, something called hyperinflation can occur and things become unaffordable. The second way we know that it isn't a housing crisis is based on level of difficulty for someone to secure a loan to buy a home. And it's much more difficult now than it was before. And believe it or not, that's actually a very good thing. During this time, right now, it's actually 6 times more difficult to get a loan than it was in 2006 to 2008, the time leading up to the last crisis. And that's because banks were basically giving loans to almost anybody. And that's not a good thing because when you give a loan to anybody, it means that there's a higher chance that they're not going to be able to pay back the loan and they're going to go into default. Now what they've done is they've really tightened up a lot of their policies. They've gotten a lot smarter and, which is a lot better because they're giving it to people who've actually earned it and deserve the loans. And that's what's going on right now. And the third reason this is not a housing crisis has to do with inventory or the number of homes that are for sale. What you see here is that back when the last housing crisis happened, we actually had an oversupply of homes. And right now we have what's called an undersupply of homes. And just to give you an idea of what that really means, generally speaking, when you have less than about 6 months of inventory, that's considered a seller's market. And when we say months of inventory, what it means is that if not another home came on the market and the average number of homes that we're selling right now continue to sell, you'd have 6 months worth. So if in your market there are 20 homes, or 20 homes are selling a month, I should say, and no other home came on, it would mean that there are 120 homes for sale right now. So if you're selling 20 homes a month times 6 months, that's 120 homes. That means that there's enough homes on the market to apply for 6 months. Anything 6 months or under is considered a seller's market. 6 to 7 months is neutral, and really 6 months above, or really 7 months or more, is considered a buyer's market. So we were in an oversupply, meaning high inventory, buyer's market when, back then, and there were a ton of homes available for sale. Buyers had a lot of options. They could be picky, they could be selective. And now we're not in that situation at all. Right now we're in a market where there's not enough homes, and which means there's a high demand for those properties. It's just very different than it was leading up to the last market. But thanks for watching today's video, and stay tuned for part 2, which will have reasons 4 through 6 of why this is not a housing crisis. If you have any questions about any of this information, please feel free to reach out to me or comment below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again.